As you know, I've been working on my nature paddock. It's a large area for the horses. It's kind of like trail riding area, but I'm also trying to slowly introduce it to the girls and the boys so they have like access just to go, have fun out there by themselves. So I have the majority of the fence up before it's like fully encapsulated, but I'm gonna introduce it to the girls slowly right now. I'm hoping that if I walk javelin, the rest will follow. She's the alpha. Today, I'm taking the girls on a big adventure. Not only will this be an adventure, but this will be a trial, especially for Janana girl. I've been waiting for this moment all year. And for those of you that are familiar with our journey, I've been in the process of implementing a nature paddock for my horses. It's quite large, and I've mitigated a lot of the risk factors, but inherently they are going to have to learn to move around in this type of environment. But as you know, one of my fundamental beliefs for my horses is although they are domesticated, I want them to have the opportunity to live a curious and adventurous life, getting them the opportunity to explore different types of terrains, different paddocks, and living in a relatively large-sized social group and a mixed herd where they can have the opportunity to form deep friendships. And they all have unique personalities, as you're about. I am shocked. This is major growth for Janana. She's hanging out with Javelin. She's hanging out with me and Maverick. Well, me is the most shocking. She's letting me pet her. She's running up to me. So although Janana may not be, quote unquote, my riding horse, that's okay. And I do think that although we haven't made any progress under saddle after my recent accident, the fact that she's wanting to be in my company and she's trusting me, this is major growth, and this is more important to me than just getting on her back for a ride. I'm so proud of her, Janana. This is just the beginning, but I'm starting to feel optimistic that free-ranging Janana, which is my goal for her so she can come on these adventures, is a possibility. But you'll see we have a lot more to come on this adventure. But for reference purposes, we've walked past the emu paddock, paddock 4, which was next to paddock number 1, as you can see in front of the house. We've passed paddock number 2, which borders the property, and now we'll later pass paddock 3, but right now we're entering into my nature paddock, and that's what you're going to see, that we're slowly approaching, and this is the test. Javelin and Janana have always had a close bond. I consider them inseparable at this point, and Maverick has been working to solidify the third position in their herd. I have always let Maverick free range with me because I know by choice she would never choose solitude away from the girls or the other horses, and I know putting Maverick in a solitude type environment, she would develop really bad behavioral problems or just have separation related anxiety if she was to be in a solitude. So I know Maverick will follow, but will she follow me in Javelin, or will she follow Janana if Janana sprints back to the barn? So this is quite an interesting day today, and I'm trying to stay as relaxed as possible, and I think I'm doing a good job so far. Out of all my horses, I would say that you guys probably know Javelin the least, but Javelin is my alpha horse, and she was my first heart horse, although I see them all as my heart herd. And although she is the alpha, I do think that her rank can change position depending on the situation. For example, Sarge has recently taken the lead when it comes to food, but Javelin consistently remains the alpha when the horses are roaming in the paddock and just interacting socially. But I don't think she's the alpha when it comes to food. So there are situations where it does change, surprisingly. And Janana, although she is relatively low in the pecking order, she seems to shine when the horses are in a group and they're exploring new areas. And she especially excels when the horses are adventuring into the forest area because she's so confident, as you will see coming up.
So looking good. Janana is not running away. I'm so proud of them. They are being so responsible. They are following the alpha. Oh. Javelin is being really good too. This is their new nature paddock. If I let Javelin go, she's gonna run like crazy. So
I don't know if quote unquote alpha horse is the right word. I just think it's very situational, and I don't think one horse is alpha in every situation. I think it's kind of a coordinated group approach, and it depends on the situation. That's just my theory. I could be wrong. But we are having so much fun today, and you'll see once we get to the body of water that's approaching. I did keep this area open like many of you had suggested, so just stay tuned for it. You're gonna see what's here and what's not open. You can see how Janana's always in the front. Before my accident on Janana, she was the lead trail horse, and she and the others insisted that Janana take the lead. I have never purposely let Janana free range in this nature paddock because out of fear that she would run back to the barn or just run somewhere else, and then like the others would follow her. It's been a year or so, and she's just made so much progress, and I'm just so proud of her, how she's being mature and staying with us. Like I said before, there is a risk of free ranging horses in a forest type of area. And although I do it at my farm, I do have a very special bond with my herd, and I understand the herd dynamics, but it's not something that I would probably encourage others to do, just disclosure, but it does work. It is working, and it's new at my farm. But like I said before, Javelin is my alpha mare, and she runs extremely hot. I know if I was to let Javelin off, she would gallop away and just put on a full display of power, and the herd would follow her blindly. Javelin is also not as careful, so it will likely be some time before she's in the nature paddock free ranging at free will. However, Janana, she's one of those horses that I just never have to worry about. Janana has never gotten as much as a scratch since the day I bought her. Her only hang up is that her trust component with people. And maybe that is the reason why she knows, the importance of self-preservation and how not to get into accidents. But with that said, Janana never gets into accidents. She knows how to take care of herself, and that is one component that I value.
the first time on the nature paddock. They're doing so good. Hey Maverick, I love you. Janana, she may not like to be ridden, but I do think that she does trust me now. Because look, I know she's with her alpha Javelin, but she's still close to me too. See? You see how Janana just takes the lead? That's all she wants to. She loves being the lead on trails. That's why I don't want to give up on her riding just yet, because as you can see, this is her element. this is where she prospers.
The inside of the fence in my nature paddock is where I will eventually turn the herd out for set hours during the day. This connects to their larger paddock, which is the more of the traditional grassy paddock with either a barn and or run-in for the horses. On the outside of this fence is my trial riding area, and some of the area on the outside is a little bit above my comfort zone or risk tolerance for letting the horses roam freely, so I have reserved that area for more of a controlled activity like trail riding or nature walks. And I'm in the process of ordering and then installing a second board around the perimeter, just so it's like fully encapsulated by 2 boards. But you'll notice some only has 1 board and some section is finished with the second board.
Janana!
Because I do not believe that 1 top board would be sufficient enough to hold my horses in, especially my little Viking who could easily like run under it, or Patriot and Drakina, so I want this section to be safe. The boards are certainly not inexpensive, however, I just get nervous with barbed wire, and Brie has seen some horror stories with the barbed wire that she has shared with me that I will not soon forget. So I just would prefer to have all wood as opposed to wire. What are your thoughts on having like a bottom layer of wire on the fence, or do you think that just adds too much risk?
Janana! Maverick! Maverick! Hey! Janana!
The fact that I can call my horses in when they roam too far off is such a comfort to me. I think that it's only possible because I spend so much time with my horses, but it doesn't make it any less magical that they're able to do this. This is not a state park, this is our home. And eventually we will understand every corner of my property, but right now this is still kind of new. It's still very early days, but I could not be more proud of my puppies. I could not be any more proud of my horses, just the way they behave. I just see a big future in with them. If Janana wasn't at my farm, I have no clue what her life would be like today, but I'm so glad that I kept her because she's incredible. Just incredible.
Janana! Maverick! Maverick, come back! Janana!
The next section of the adventure is going to be a little bit more of a test because we have a body of water to cross. And although it's quite low today, Javelin and Maverick have both never crossed this body of water before, so I'm hoping that I can get Javelin over and that Maverick will follow Janana's lead because Janana is very comfortable with the water.
Easy! Easy! Oh. This is why I knocked all 3 of them off the leash. Slow down.
I am amazed with just how good my mares are doing in this adventure. As you can clearly see, Maverick is clearly listening to me when I call her back in. But this is nothing new for Maverick, as this is something that I have worked hard on with Maverick for a very long time, and we have this down. However, this is Janana's first time to return to me on a call, so this is a huge milestone, and I never thought it would be possible, especially at this stage of owning Janana. I thought we were a few years away to her being this responsive, so this is, everybody give Janana a huge applause here. However, the next section will be a lot more challenging. We have a steep hill that we have to go down, and this is going across a water stream. I was initially going to close this section off of my paddock, but a few of the members encouraged me to include this, so I'm so glad I did. It's too beautiful to remove from the horses, section where they're eventually going to roam. However, it is going to be a challenge because Javelin does not like the water, and Maverick is not too familiar with water streams either. But on the other hand, Janana is very familiar with the water, and in fact, Janana and Prince, this is both their favorite section of their home here at my property, and they could not be more at peace than when they're in the water. So I'm so glad we kept this section. When I see Janana this ease with the water and in the forest environment, it makes me optimistically wonder if Janana started her life somewhere where she had access to this type of environment and was happy in a herd. It seems to bring back almost good nostalgic memories for her. Possible good memories that was with her prior herd, because before she started her training and got into the wrong hands. Because whoever trained Janana has left some permanent mental scars on my mare, and I believe that they have been compounded by going from auction to auction so many times before I found her. But here, Janana is extremely social with the other horses and animals. She's extremely confident in a natural environment. Like I said, her only hang-up is with people. I'm not sure what happened to her before we found each other, but I do believe Janana may be associating the water, the natural spring, with the nostalgic memories that she once had years ago before she went through whatever trauma she went to before she found me. Maverick and Janana do not feel comfortable in the water. They just don't feel comfortable. It's just not there. Unlike Janana, who's clearly very at peace with the water. So I'm gonna have to navigate this. Maverick is still getting used to the water bank and working her way with her feet.
Pull her forward, pull her forward, pull her forward.
Over the summer, she did love swimming in the pond, but I think on this type of waterway, it's just a little bit different with the uneasiness of the holes, the footing, the different textures. So it's just a skill that Maverick's gonna have to learn.
Pull her forward, pull her forward, pull her forward.
Good girl, Maverick. You got it. Good girl, Maverick. Good girl. After Maverick's little incident of stepping into a deep spot on the stream bank, she is going to be a little reluctant to cross the water. Naturally. Like I said before, Maverick is still new to crossing streams and creeks, and she's not as sure footed as Janana or Prince today. And this is something that she's going to have to learn from to become more skilled at before I feel confident letting Maverick roam around in the natural paddock being unsupervised. In a way, it is a critical learning opportunity for Maverick to learn where to place her feet when following Janana into a body of water who's way more experienced. Horses can struggle and get stuck in deep spots, and this is something that I believe she's going to learn from. And I'm not going to force her across the water today, but I'm just hoping that this hiccup doesn't cause her to run back to the barn just to get the safety of the barn. So we're going to see what's going to happen.
Maverick! Come on, baby! Come on, Maverick! Come on, baby! Come on, baby! Come on, baby! Maverick! Come on, Maverick!
At this point, I'm quite far away from Janana and Maverick, and this is also Javelin's first time crossing the water stream. So I know if I go back to follow Maverick and Janana the normal way, it's going to be a challenge getting Javelin back over the stream. So I'm thinking of going this way, then trying to relocate the girls, but I'm not expecting them to find us. Because the girls that never came to this corner of the property before, it's just being cleaned. Maverick! Janana! Good girl! Maverick! Janana! Maverick! Janana! Maverick! Careful, she'll kick you. Careful. Good girl!
Return to us. Good babies. Maverick got really scared at the water. Come on. Janana! Maverick! Good girl. Good girls. Good girls.
So I'm gonna try to get Javelin across so we can fully be reunited with the girls. But we have to talk about what just happened. I'm so proud of Janana girl. Cannot believe what just happened. So sometimes I like to show them that it's okay. I will walk in the water first, let them know that it's safe. But I think I've mentioned that Javelin's a jumper before, right? Not as graceful as some may like, but I'll take it today. Right now, my mind is just head over heels in love with Janana girl. Wow.
They are doing so good. I can't. Javelin doesn't like going through water on much. She's very careful. Maverick freaked out. Janana went to comfort her, I believe.
On a side note, my entire property is covered with cameras, as you can see. But after seeing Janana on the second camera, to me it appeared that Janana knew Maverick was in distress, and as a result, she galloped towards her to comfort her. And to me personally, I believe Janana was displaying empathy. With humans, some individuals are fundamentally more empathetic than others, and science shows that not all humans have the natural ability to display empathy. Furthermore, many people believe that empathy is a higher order cognitive process that is exclusive to only human psychology. But the basic definition of empathy is defined as the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. So essentially, it's putting yourself in somebody else's position and feeling what they are feeling, essentially. Janana could have easily stayed with her number one Javelin. However, she clearly shared Maverick's feelings of distress and went one step further to comfort her. Based upon this definition alone, I would argue that Janana was showing empathy. What is your opinion here? Do you believe that Janana was displaying an emotional reaction of empathy, or do you think it was something else?
So basically exercising 3 horses in the form of one. This is so much fun. Do you guys like your nature paddock? You like it, Javelin? Do you like it, baby girl? Do you like it? Good girls.
I'm trying to figure out a way to earn income from my farm. There has to be a way. Let me know if anyone has any ideas, anything whatsoever. It's still early stages in my horse journey and I'm trying to figure everything out. Horse integrations, building, infrastructure, hay room, everything. My nature paddocks, but it's all coming together. But eventually I do want to monetize, and I'm just trying to figure out the best way. Maybe boarding for retired horses, public boarding. I do have a guest quarters too. What do you guys think would be a good source of income here?
So now we're going to continue walking back to the house. Maverick! Janana! Maverick! They're way back there. Oh, I hear a deer. Maverick!
This never gets old. Maverick has the best recall I've ever seen or knew possible.
See Maverick come galloping down. Come on, Maverick! Janana! Easy. Got some exercise today.
We have almost made it back to paddock 2, where the boys are, and I can already hear Prince and Sarge yelling out for their sisters. This was quite a long adventure, and next time I definitely want to bring the boys. I just don't think I'm ready just yet to free range all of them at once, but Janana was incredible, and she exceeded my expectations. Find out if Reese has either a bacterial or a viral or both. Hopefully it's just one, but the exceed that he's on is definitely working, and tomorrow we will have more information from the vet, but we are definitely on the mend. Thank you everyone for your kind words, sharing your stories, your thoughts, your prayers. It's just really helpful, and thank you.